Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today, I'm going to show you a poncho shelter that you may have never seen. Stay tuned. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you're aware that I prefer these old school, heavy duty, rubberized military ponchos. And you can get the US military, the German Bundeswehr type as well. They're made almost exactly the same. They're super heavy duty. They are heavy, but they're going to hold up. And what I like about it is going through the brush, through briars, and of course, if it needs to be doubled as an emergency shelter, it just works fantastic for that. And so, although it's not the most lightweight option, I prefer to carry it. One of the other things that I like to take on a backcountry trip is some sort of a hiking staff. And I've got some hiking shields on this and just a hickory walking staff that I've had for quite a few years. And I like it a lot. It takes a lot of the beating off of your knees on long trails, especially in rugged terrain. And also the fact that it can be used to fend off wild animals. And it's just a nice thing to have in general. But it can also be used as a shelter stick. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that right now. Just one stick with this poncho option. One of the things you want to do is you want to find a place where you can put a hole in the ground. And just using a stake and your stick and kind of wobble it out and make it wide, and preferably as wide at the bottom as you can. And go ahead and make that just a few inches deep. This one's maybe 3 or 4 inches deep, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my walking stick, I'm going to put it in the hole, I'm going to get it down there as tight as I can so that it will basically be supported by itself, just like that. Next, we open up the poncho, and as many of you know, inside I like to carry a sombrero, a Gore-Tex sombrero, helps keep the rain off of me. And then also I carry some Gore-Tex overpants, and those are military surplus as well. We open this up, and the one thing that we see is that it has this snorkel type hood. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that over top of the stick. So it's going to look something just like that. And of course it's not going to stand up really good, but the hole is going to help hold it up from falling over. The next thing you want to do is you want to guy out each of the corners using a stick like this as a toggle with a slip knot up through the grommet, and then stake out each of the 4 corners on there, and then on the back side. And you may have to adjust them a little bit to get it to hang just right. And that's what it looks like when it's spread out. It's got place for the wind to blow underneath in all 4 corners, so nothing's actually touching the ground. And it'll shed most rain and dew unless it's a real heavy storm. But there's plenty of room underneath to get in. I'll show you. So this is a really effective shelter. It's actually pretty quick to put up. Once you've done it once or twice, it'll come pretty quick to you. The other thing that you can do, especially if you want to have a fire or a little better visibility and airflow, is find about the height of this grommet here in the center and take a small Y stick, and you can actually prop the front open just like that. And that makes a pretty good little opening as well. And it makes it a little bit easier to get in and out. But it's nice and open on the sides. You do get some airflow. And again, you could put some smaller Y sticks around if you really wished. Of course, it's not the largest of shelters, but it's very adequate, especially for an emergency overnight stay. And getting in it, pretty easy. And there's a fair amount of room. Of course, you've got this central stick, so you'll have to work around that a little bit. But certainly for an emergency bivouac, just to spend the night, it's really pretty good. So here's what it looks like from different angles. Get a little bit of idea of how it's set up. And then also, as you can see, plenty of airspace for airflow around the bottom. So everything considered, I think this is a really neat poncho tarp type shelter to set up. It doesn't take a lot of materials, a couple of feet of bank line on each corner, on each toggle, so about 8 feet in total, or about 3 meters for you that use that measuring system. Of course, a central stick, it can be your walking stick or something else, and of course you could put that hole deeper in the ground. You can make the center stick shorter to spread it out if you want a longer shelter instead of a taller shelter. But I believe this is something really important to know. It doesn't take a lot of resources. It's relatively quick to set up. And again, you should be able to put this up probably less than 10 minutes once you get it going. And I believe it's something that you would like to just kind of keep in your back of your mind for an emergency situation. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also make sure and check out the links in the description box below. And while you're down there, you'll also find our waypointsurvival.com link. And this is where you can sign up to take great survival and bushcraft training classes here at our beautiful facility in Southern Ohio. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos. And we'll talk to you next time.